Chairman Steve and Third International Vice President AP, Friends, Conventioneers all, let me assure you the Vice President is not frightened of flowers. He's big enough to knock them back. This afternoon, I would just like to introduce you to the Vice President a little bit differently, more personal. I'm not going to talk about all the positions he's held to get to where he is. You can assume he's held every position there is. I'm not going to talk about the awards and the recognitions because he has achieved them all, including the highest one, the Ambassador of Goodwill. I talk about the man that's going to lead this organisation in a few years' time, the humanitarian that he is, the analyst that he is, and the number cruncher that he is. Because he's all of that, and probably the best way to describe that is telling you a couple of personal incidences that we had together. But before I do that, I also want to recognise past International Director Sangeeta, who was working with him. Sangeeta was the chairman of one of my committees when I was president. I served as a director with her father, so she's known in India as my daughter. Well, my eldest daughter, no, first daughter. I have 3 daughters in India. She's the first one. But AP is well supported by Sangeeta. He is also a family man with 2 children. But the humanitarian, I had a dream when I was president that I would start a microfinance business in India supported by LCIF to allow the rural women of India who had no opportunities to earn money but were living in poverty. So I went to AP and said, AP, this is what I want to do. In a very short time, I got a message to say it's set up and ready to go. And today, I've just grasping at old figures, over 20,000 people have benefited from that small little start of $100,000. Allowing these women to be able to run their own business and earn money for their family. And when you sit in their huts on a milk crate on a dirt floor and you ask them, what difference has this made to your family? They will, without exception, say, I could educate my children. And that's all to AP. He was the one that put it together and he made it happen. That's the humanitarian side of AP. He's a great leader. He's a listener. Today we had the meeting with our second Vice District Governors-elect. He's learnt a lot. They've learnt a lot. It's the first meeting he's had with his second Vice Governors-elect. They are the first. And because he's here, he was able to do that. So it set them on a path of understanding their president and him understanding them, which is more important to him. You are more important to him because that's the sort of man that he is. Lions of MD 201, would you please put your hands together and give a rousing welcome to our incoming third Vice President, Lion AP Singh.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Past President Barry, for your kind and generous words. Past President Barry has always been a source of inspiration for me and for many others around the world. He opens up those avenues of leadership, encourages individuals to continue to serve, to work in teams by his inimitable style, and continues to provide leadership to Lions in all constitutional areas. Friends, it's such a pleasure to be here today. But then before I start, for whoever's holding that red rose in your hand, I think information needs to go to you that the 20 minutes that were allocated for International Director Tim have also been allotted to me. So don't bring that rose up so early. So, I've got enough time here. Thank you, my friends. Let me first of all congratulate the Lions the leadership, and everybody here in this convention. And at whatever level you are working, because the most important level definitely is that we are all lions in this wonderful organization, for what you have decided and resolved in MD 201. It was about a few weeks ago that we came across a posting on the Facebook. The posting that said that the lions of this great multiple districts have decided to move to the membership of 30,000 by 2030 and 50,000 by 2050. It was not just a simple announcement. There was also a document attached which contained the signatures of all members of the Council of Governors. We have heard many such comments being made across the entire world, in all multiple districts perhaps, about the need to grow to serve, to be able to grow so that we can perform, so that we can reach out the need-based service to our communities more effectively and in a more robust manner. But an announcement of this nature, where the entire council puts its own reputation up there, exposes itself, and says, we are accepting this challenge and doing it voluntarily. Congratulations for having done that. You have been courageous. You have, in fact, let me tell you, showed the way to the rest of the world. For what was done in MD 201 ultimately led to a few discussions at the international leadership level, that if the lions of MD 201 can do it, why not the entire world? Why not the entire global leadership? As a result of which, let me share with you this piece of knowledge that you could well expect an initiative of Lions Clubs International to be rolled out soon, wherein the entire association is going to pledge to reach the much talked about, the much dreamt of figure of 1.5 million within a certain time frame. Your initial step and your showing the way was extremely instrumental there. And as we move on with this great initiative across the entire world, whose announcement would come in a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, by our Honorable International President, and we will wait for the official announcement till then, I'm sharing this with you because you are the individuals who set that entire process of thinking into motion. As we do this, one thought that crosses my mind is that who can make this happen? Whether it is MD 201 Australia or whether it is the entire world. Can any international president or a group of executive officers make that happen? Is it possible for them to be able to influence, to be able to work with 50,000 clubs in 8 constitutional areas of the world, with a population Lions membership of around 1.4 million, to grow the membership in their own clubs? Is it possible for any individual or just about 4 or 5 individuals, or even for an entire international board to do it? If you ask me, the answer is no. So how does it happen? Or how would it happen in MD 201 and across the world? I've thought about it and I find a very simple solution to it. Let's forget the rest of the world. Let's forget all the other clubs. There are only 2 clubs that are important in this entire process. If we can set 2 clubs right, the remaining 49,998 clubs will be set right on its own. We need to focus on just 2 clubs. And those 2 clubs are your home club and my home club. You take care of your home club, I take care of my home club. We spread this message across the world of Lions, across MD 201, in every district, in every zone, in every region. That's how we can make it happen. It's not a team of governors only. It's not the GAT team. It's not a few individuals. It's a question of working at the club level. And at the club level also, there are only 2 individuals who are most important. If you ask me, who are the most important 2 individuals in this organization? I would say, some of you might say the international president or the LCIF chair or anyone like that are the most important two individuals in this organization. But I would beg to differ. The two most important individuals in this organization are, one is you and the second is me. If you discharge your duties and responsibilities of a good lion, and if I discharge those duties and responsibilities, I understand my obligations of what a good lion is expected to do, everything can be taken care of. Every lion must understand one's own duties, responsibilities, and obligations. If we do it this way, it's going to be pretty simple. When we talk of membership, when we talk of growing our association, it's not about growing for numbers alone. Numbers may give us the pride, but numbers is not the purpose. The purpose essentially is service, service to our communities. Since morning, since the past few days, especially the last 2 days, visiting the booths in that center where you had put up in providing information about the various service projects, the presentations that were made this morning. I mean, one is so touched, one is so impressed with the kind of work that's been done by the Lions in this great multiple district. You're doing great work. You need to be complimented. You need to be congratulated. There are so many things that you are doing that we are learning. Perhaps we will carry that message to other parts of the world. Others could learn from you as well. But the important question is, who performs that service? Who delivers that service? That service is delivered by the Lions and the Lions alone. There is only one level. There is only one level in this entire organization where service delivery takes place. There may be an international board where we may talk of all the policies globally. There may be discussions at the area forums. There may be discussions at the council meetings. There may be discussions at the cabinet meetings. There may be discussions at the zone chairpersons and the region chairpersons meeting. But the service delivery takes place only and only at one level, and that's the club level. And the service delivery takes place only through one category of service deliverers or service agents, and they are the Lion members. That's you and me. If this service delivery process has to continue, and if this service delivery process has to be strengthened and made more robust, if we have to expand our horizon of service, if we have to add more to it to make this world slightly better than what we have inherited, to make sure that we leave it slightly more secure, slightly more safer, slightly more better for our future generations than what we got from the previous generations. That's an unwritten responsibility of every human being on this planet Earth. If that's going to happen, then we need to strengthen the clubs. We need more friends. We need more like-minded individuals in our organization. Every new lion, every additional lion who joins us is not just a number, is an individual with one's thoughts, visions, hopes, aspirations, contacts, way of thinking. That individual brings so much to our organization. Every time we talk of a new club is not just one more addition of a club to the aggregate of clubs in a district or in a multiple district or across the world. It is one more delivery service entity which is being established. Look at the kind of service that clubs have been doing. Look at your own home club. If you are proud of that home club, and that's why you wear this Lions lapel pin, that's where I wear this Lions lapel pin, whereby we declare to the entire world that not only are we citizens of our countries, but we are responsible citizens of our countries. There's a difference between being a citizen of a country and a responsible citizen of a country. A responsible citizen is one whose care and concern is not limited to one's biological families, whose care and concern goes beyond the biological families. My dear friends, here in this country of Australia, what a wonderful country this is. I mean, look at the kind of landmass you have, the resources there you have, your wonderful government, your systems that work. I must tell you that the entire world is not like this. And yet the entire world is connected. If COVID has taught us one thing, it's taught us that our futures are connected. We cannot live in isolation. As human beings, we are interdependent. And in other parts of the world, you are blessed and your children and grandchildren are blessed. You have no idea what poverty is. what death by starvation is, what lack of education means, what lack of medical facilities to mothers who deliver maybe in shanties or under what we may call the flyover bridges in many parts of the world, who deliver babies there, no prenatal or postnatal care. What that means, we really do not know. And yet, my dear friends, just think to yourself, and I often think to myself, what is it that I have done to deserve a much safer, secure life? What is it that my children, or your grandchildren have done to deserve all the luxuries and the safeties and the securities of the homes where they have been born? Just try and imagine the very moment when a child would have been born in your family, at that very moment, perhaps there would have been another child born in some other part of the world, maybe in a much more impoverished part of Africa, somewhere in South Asia, could have been any other part of the world. When the child is born, if a child is born in your family, in your country, the child is born with safety, security, national security, health security, all 100% guaranteed to the child. And when the child is born in another part of the world, there is no such safety and security guaranteed to that child. What is the fault of that child? What has that child done wrong? That child's just been born a few seconds ago, but has no such home, no safety, no security, no national security, no health systems, no education systems. Such is life. This is what Warren Buffett calls that there are some in the world like you, maybe like me and our families, who are winners of the so-called ovarian lotteries. We are born with that great, with that great benefit that accrues to us at our birth itself. And since we are born that way, there is something that we owe. We owe a debt to our communities. We owe a debt to the entire human civilization. We owe a debt to making this world better. And we discharge that debt. There could be various platforms of discharging that debt, but one such great platform of discharging that debt is Lions International. Is your club, my club, your district, my district, your multiple district, my multiple district, all of us together. This is such a wonderful organization that brings us together, that helps us to build relationships across the world, which otherwise would never have been possible. I would never have had the opportunity to work so closely and be influenced and to learn from an individual like PIP Barry, to have worked closely with PID Tony, and so many of your other Australian directors who have served on the international board, and so many of you whom I have met at various forums in different parts of the world. Our organization gives us this great opportunity. My friends, we have this great opportunity. We have been serving. Maybe in our way that we extend our service, the way we move in our clubs, the way we organize our meetings, the way we do things in our clubs, maybe that may need to be changed. We need to be introspecting. We need to look within ourselves if what we have been doing in the last 30, 40, 50 years, and that's been successful, whether that would be successful in the next 20, 30, 40 years as well. What got us here, will it essentially help us sustain and will help us go forward as well? Or do we really need to change? In this respect, my friends, let me quote to you, or let me bring to you an example of a game that Australians love and Indians love, the game of cricket. Let me also tell you that a few weeks ago, I was in the UK. The guys there still think that they are the center of the game of cricket. I didn't even want to impress them. I mean, if some people want to live in illusion, what do? You can't help it. Now, in this game of cricket, my friends, a game which you love, which in my country, India, is almost a religion, where millions follow this game was almost dying a couple of decades ago. When the 5-day test matches were still the way this game was played at the international level, and our stadia were beginning to get all empty. At the end of 5-day matches, nobody was sure whether there would be a result or yet no result. Everybody was breaking their heads about what could be done to save this such a wonderful game, the game of cricket. And then came a person who had actually never played cricket before. But that person was, I would say, the marketing guru. That person knew to package or repackage the game of cricket. And I'm talking of Kerry Packer. When that individual came, he said, we'll not play for 5 days, we'll play just for 1 day. We'll not play in the mornings, we'll play in the evenings. We'll play under floodlights, we'll not play in white clothes, we'll play in the colored clothes. We'll not play with the red ball, we'll play with the white ball. We'll not leave it just to be that ultimate gentleman's game, but we'll have cheerleaders all around. And everybody said, he's converting cricket into a circus. It was at that point of time when the national boards across the world said anybody associating with the Kerry Packers team would be out of the national teams. The boards in Australia did it, the boards in India did it, the boards in West Indies did it, across the world. But it took only 2 or 3 years for the boards to step back and accept that this model was the evolving model. From the 60-over version of cricket, we went on to the 50-over version. We are now into the 20-over version of the matches, the international matches. We are still playing cricket, but it's done in 20 overs. There's so much of entertainment. There's a result which is ensured. There's so much of power behind it. There is so much of funding that the industry has provided. There's so much of international mixing available. There's so much more excitement that has come back to the game of cricket. There's so much more competitiveness that has been restored. More nations are becoming cricket-playing nations. And the game of cricket has a new lease of life. It's one of the most sought-after games once again across the entire world. All it needed was a repackaging. We are the same organization. We serve. We are proud of what we have been doing. You are proud of what you have been doing in your district, in your club, in this multiple district, in this great country. But you have to think, what is it that's got to be done differently in your club, in your district? To grow to that 30,000 and to grow to that 50,000, you will have to assume personal responsibility. I will have to assume responsibility of growing my club and my district. You have to assume responsibility of at least growing your club. As a responsible, as a good lion who's taken time out to be here at the convention, we need to translate that and demonstrate leadership through action, and that we are really good lions by actually ensuring that our clubs become stronger. In doing that, there could be various ways of approaching things, and some ways could be new ways of looking at things. Totally new ways that we've not looked at it earlier. And let's take an example. Can you tell me who's the captain of the Australian cricket team? Can you tell me? Somebody? Pat Cummins. Okay. Now, when I ask you this question, and this is what I've done in my multiple district in my country, I did it in UK as well and got a similar answer. You've given Pat Cummins, the guys gave the name of their national captain. The guys in my country gave the name of Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli at the relevant time whenever this question was asked. But that's the whole issue. That's the whole issue. We need a more different and a modern mindset. If you say Pat Cummins is the captain of the Australian cricket team, my question to you is, what wrong has Meg Lanning done? My next question to you also is, what wrong has Cooper Connolly done? He's the captain of your under-19 cricket team. The game of cricket has changed. The women's cricket teams are winning and playing as well as the men's cricket teams. They are entertaining, they are as stronger as the men's cricket team. And the under-19 tournaments around the world are becoming a breeding ground of some of the greatest players and greatest talent in this game across the entire world, from where the players get entry into the national squads. At least the Indian under-19 squad throws up at least 3 to 4 individuals whose names otherwise have not even been heard of, but they find their place directly into the senior Indian cricket team, and they perform to be one of the greatest players there. Virat, Rohit, all are products of the under-19 development of cricket there. So when we talk of the game, who the captain is, we are focused. We've always thought of the men's cricket team only, but there is the women's cricket team and there is an under-19 cricket team. We need to open our vision there. Similarly, when we work in our clubs, and when you work to grow your clubs and make the clubs stronger, and once again, I repeat, please be very clear when we talk of growing membership, it's not because of numbers, it's because of a much deeper reason that service delivery can be made more robust and service delivery can be ensured for the future only if we have newer and younger members. You and I may love this organization, may love all our projects, but we are all temporary. We are all vanishing, going to vanish someday or the other. We are not permanent on this planet Earth. Our membership needs to be replaced, needs to be replenished with the next generation to which we must hand over the baton and hand it over in a proper manner. That is the purpose of growing the membership. That is the purpose of growing the association. That is the purpose of making our association strong. My dear friends, here in Australia, you, as I said, have already the dream. All that you have to do is to follow your dream. If you can follow your dream, then I would say that together we can. Together we can grow. You can be the example. You can be the role model for the rest of the world. Council Chairman, is he here? Can I see him? Okay. There. Council Chairperson, you've given great leadership to this Council of Governors, produced this great document, this great commitment. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for everything that you have done, including giving me an opportunity to come to your convention. It's still a convention, isn't it? It hasn't become a conference. Okay. I'll give you a secret. In my multiple district, all sub-district conventions are not called conventions, they're called conferences. But no, you haven't heard me complete. I said but the multiple district event is called a convention. Now, why it's called even I don't know, but we've got to think about it. I've been talking to PID Sangeeta. We need to apply. We have both conferences and convention there. So we've maybe made peace with it before the question arose. But thank you, Council Chairperson, for everything that you have done. Thank you for that invitation. Thank you, Past President Barry. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, PID Tony, and all of you for your friendship, for your hospitality, and for everything that you are doing in this great organization. I think the red flower is still not here. I'm within time. I wish you all the best, and I hope our paths will continue to cross in future. We will continue to meet, and we will all meet as proud lions of our great clubs of this wonderful organization. Thank you.
Hello. Third Vice President, if I could please get you to wait up here. And could I ask Past International Director Sangeeta to please come up as well? Can I say it has been truly an honour to have Third Vice President Singh and Past International Director Sangeeta with us over the last, you've been here now in about 5 days, 4 days, 5? It has been an absolute privilege to talk to them, to listen to them, to get some great insights. And I think what we've just heard about is, number one, that we are at the forefront, wishing to grow this well, not only Past District Governor Randall will hit me for saying wishing to grow, we will grow. And now International have decided that we're on the right track, and they are going to do the same thing, which I think is a great recognition of what we have done. But also the message that you just gave us, Vice President Singh, in that we must change. We must continue to change. We must evolve. Our communities aren't the same as they were when they were chartered, when our clubs were chartered. They have changed. So we must change, or else our clubs have no place. And it is great to hear that, you know, support from people like yourself of that change. So I'd like to very much thank you for making the trip out here, coming to be with us, coming to speak with us. We have some gifts for you. and hopefully it will appear on stage in a minute. So on behalf of Multiple District 201, we'd like to present you with this local Aboriginal work. This was done by William from Gunai Kurnai tribe in Victoria, which is where I am from. William's grandmother is from Darwin. His grandfather was from Gunai Kurnai tribe, as I say, we're in Gippsland, where I'm from. And his mother and father lived in and around Gippsland, where he grew up. He's been painting stories from the region for over 16 years and is a strong supporter of Aboriginal tradition. William endeavours to capture the essence of the tradition of all his paintings, and this is an important feature of his works. So on behalf of Multiple District 201, thank you. Please accept this gift. Thank you. This is one of the little dishes that they made in the past. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here with us, and hope to see you again. Thank you. Another round.